Once the machine was set up behind them, their bodies began to shake violently, and they effortlessly passed through walls. They could even move through metal manhole covers with ease. However, the device had a fatal flaw. It could only operate for a maximum of 100 seconds at a time. But the men didn't seem to mind. They decisively targeted a bank. As the machine emitted high-frequency vibrations, one of the men slowly approached the wall. When the frequency of his body matched the frequency of the wall, their vibrations synchronized, and he passed through effortlessly. Strangely, they weren't interested in the cash. Instead, they went for a heavy box, which cost them a lot of time. Just as the last robber was passing through the wall, he got stuck. His teammates desperately tried to pull him out, but as the device stopped working, the robber became embedded in the wall. To ensure no secrets were leaked, the leader, ignoring the man's pleas, ruthlessly pulled the trigger. They thought that with this, their secret was safe. But to their surprise, the police arrived the next day. However, the robbers had already destroyed the surveillance system. Faced with such a bizarre case, the police were at a loss. At that moment, the doctor suddenly recalled a movie he had watched the night before, in which a similar scenario occurred. A robber got stuck in a wall at the last second. He instantly understood everything. Back at the police station, he placed a beaker on a vibration device, filled it with rice, and placed small toy figures around the beaker. As the vibration frequency changed, the toy figures gradually sank into the rice. This was the method the robbers had used. But there was a downside. No matter how much protection they used, the intense radiation would inevitably leave incurable aftereffects. What puzzled everyone, though, was why the robbers ignored the money and were only interested in the box. After consulting the bank, they learned that the box had been stored there for over 20 years. Other branches had identical boxes. The police quickly rushed to the other locations, but to their surprise, the safe was empty. However, the bank's vault was incredibly secure, with steel plates a full meter thick on each wall. Only half an hour had passed from when the security system failed to when the police arrived, meaning the robbers couldn't have gotten far. Sure enough, the police spotted them on a nearby street. During the pursuit, a female officer wounded one of the robbers, while the others managed to escape. During interrogation, the injured robber was uncooperative, his hands trembling uncontrollably. The police chief immediately knew what to do. It was clear that the intense radiation had left the robber with severe aftereffects, and if he didn't receive treatment soon, he wouldn't live much longer. Under pressure, the man finally confessed. They had stolen a time travel device. 20 years ago, the inventor had dismantled the device and stored its parts in different banks. They had stolen the equipment to rescue their boss, who was imprisoned. At that moment, the leader inside the prison was preparing himself, standing in a specific corner. Outside the prison, not far away, the robbers were assembling the time travel machine. Soon, a blinding light shot into the sky, and a figure slowly emerged. It was the robber boss. By the time the police arrived at the scene, the robbers had already vanished, leaving the police with no choice but to temporarily accept the situation.